Hello, hello, hello again to the Nashville Fit podcast. We are here in the Game Day Men's Health Studio. My name is Savannah Hill. Y'all can call me Sav. And today I am here with my friend
Jordan Clark.
Jordan Clark. That name might sound familiar to you if you were a regular podcast goer. Jordan was on the podcast. Mm-hmm. How long has it been since you were on the podcast?
About a year.
It's been a year. Wow.
A year, yeah.
I've seen you since then.
Yeah, a few times.
And did you know how to do a muscle up then? Or was that okay? So in the time that Jordan was on the podcast, between then and now, he has learned how to do a muscle up, and it's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. So progress
always room
makes
for improvement.
perfect. Yeah, there we go. This podcast is brought to you today by Dr. Sleep Fix. That is our friend, Dr. John Bejoy. He has written an incredible book, and I say this whenever we talk about it. You need to read this book. I'm holding it up in front of the camera if you're watching the YouTube channel. It's called Nobody's Sleeping. I read it, and I have it in my living room all the time to reference because it has just incredible information in there. Sleep is important. I don't care if you're in fitness or not. It really affects everything you do. So anyway, I could talk about him all day, but we're not here to talk about Dr. Sleep Fix today. Yeah, you do. We'll get you a copy.
Okay.
Maybe a signed copy if Dr. John's feeling nice. But no, we're going to get into our guest today, which is Ashley Shanks. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Ashley Shanks.
Yes.
All right. Beautiful. Ashley Shanks is an awesome person. We've had a little bit of conversation before, but we went on air. But before we get into it, are you ready for the basket of debate?
Absolutely.
Okay. The basket of debate is quite interesting. I explained it a little bit to her before, but we're all going to draw something out of the basket of debate, and we're going to debate it. That's it. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. I'll grab one. You grab one. And I can go ahead and kick it off so you kind of know it's coming. All right. You're gearing up for movie night. What are you going to do? Action, rom-com, drama, thriller, or horror? I like how those are the 5 that you get to choose from.
Oh.
Yeah, you probably got some interesting genres that you like.
Yeah.
What would your genre
I like
be?
sci-fi, like
Sci-fi?
fantasy,
Nice.
like Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What about you?
Rom-com. 100%.
Rom-com. Okay,
Yeah.
the feel-good stuff. I love it. I feel like it depends because, like, if I've read the sleep book, and if I have like work the next day, or maybe I've had a particularly stressful day, I love horror movies and like scary movies, but not on that day because it will affect my sleep. So in that case, I would opt for a rom-com. But if it's like I'm wanting to scare myself, like it's Friday night, let's go. You know, like I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
I'll rate up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Burn
I'm going to
some extra
stress myself
calories.
out. I love scary movies, but only if they're good. Like I'm disappointed when they're underwhelming, you know. Kind of scares me because I think the more that come out, the more desensitized the world is to like, you know, graphic, you know, gory, crazy stuff. But anyways, let's move it on.
Let's see. Natty or Not, Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse. I've seen it. It's a really good movie.
I actually have not seen Roadhouse.
should watch
Oh
it.
no, I haven't seen the
I have
movie.
seen it. My husband maybe.
Yeah?
Watch it.
I
Yes.
feel like that's
Yes.
husbands everywhere have made their wives watch that movie.
I'm going to say no.
No, not Natty?
No.
Okay.
You haven't
I
seen
don't.
it.
These
so-
are. I hate these questions because I don't
Yeah.
keep up with who's taking steroids or not.
Yeah,
like I,
I
really
mean-
don't care. Like
Yeah, I don't know. I work out a lot and I don't look like that, but I mean, I don't
No.
have his trainers and his nutrition, so who knows?
yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's hard to say.
It is hard.
I mean, when you have resources, you can do a lot.
You can. That's true. And
So-
Jake Gyllenhaal has a lot of resources. I can imagine. We need Jarrell on this one because he's really good at knowing those things. He's always very sure of himself when we have these questions. He's like, nope, no, or yep, definitely. You know, like So I'm
You never
unsure.
know
I haven't
nowadays.
seen
You don't
Roadhouse,
know.
and I also don't really keep
Put
up.
that on your list. It's not a rom-com,
Yeah,
and it's not a horror movie, so
What is it?
it's like it's a fighting movie, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Action.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. It has
Word.
Conor McGregor in it.
Oh, okay.
It does, which I
Interesting.
think
And he's the
he
villain. He's good.
is.
I bet he makes a
rather
great villain.
funny.
It's,
Yeah.
it's literally him. Like it's exactly him. He doesn't act.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like the cameo is him.
Kinda, yeah. He has a different name in the movie, but he literally acts like himself. He's not even acting. Yeah.
I always like think that's really fascinating when like celebrity like athletes or like had nothing to do with acting and then they get into acting. Like John Cena went into acting, you know, like he's an actor now. But then sometimes they just have a cameo where they're basically like, yeah, that's just that guy being himself. Like, anyway, let's move on to Ashley's question.
All right. Turkey time. White meat or dark?
I really don't care.
I'm going
Whatever
white
one I grab
for
first, I guess.
sure. As long as it's not super dry, like
Yeah.
Christmas vacation dry.
Oh yeah, no. I can't do
Yeah.
dry, white, or dark.
I mean, I guess if I had
Dry
to
meat
pick
in
one, I'd
general.
probably go dark. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why for both answers?
I like it being moist, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna hold back from.
Yeah,
That's what
just
she
hold-
said.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, I didn't hold back. Ashley, why would you go white meat?
I think just growing up, my dad was always the dark meat guy. So he would claim like the turkey legs, and they just always kind of grossed me out a little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah.
So it's more of a matter of like texture and appeal.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, it's about taste. So like, I love dark meat. I love the way it tastes. The legs are my favorite. But white is like, you know, they talk about it being healthier for you and you know, the leaner part of the bird.
Provita Fitness, located in the heart of Germantown, your neighborhood spot for personal training, small group fitness, and 24 access to everything you need in a gym. First class is free. Come by today for a free consultation to find out more.
So I don't discriminate. I like it all. I like it all. But let's hop right into your story, Ashley. So
All right. Yeah.
let's start from the very beginning. Like, when were you born? No, I'm just kidding. What got you into fitness in general?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think growing up, like, we were always kind of like an active family. So, you know, we would do like family bike rides, stuff like that. But
That's amazing.
it wasn't until high school I got into a weightlifting class. And I think that was just it. From then on, I was into
You had
the
a
fitness
class
thing.
for weightlifting?
We did. We
Where did you
did.
go to high school?
Jealous.
Yeah. So I'm from Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jealous too.
We got to work out in the football weightlifting room.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
So was it called like weightlifting?
It was. Yeah.
So did you have regular PE class on top of that?
Yeah,
And
so you
then-
had different options of PE classes. You do like volleyball, tennis, swimming.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got weightlifting.
I never got that. We had PE, and most
PE.
people used it for study hall.
We had track where we would go walk or run a mile for the class.
That I had to do in middle school, and that was like traumatizing for me. That presidential test is what you're talking about. Yeah, that was not fun for me when I was in middle school. But yeah, I didn't have those kind of classes in high school. Okay, so you took a weightlifting class, and that sent you
that
where?
kind of, yeah, that started it for me. And then I went to college with the focus of being a nurse. So I did 3 years of nursing school and then realized I did not like it.
Okay.
And did a complete 180 and did applied physiology and kinesiology
Oh wow.
and went that route.
What made you not want to do nursing and that instead?
It just was not the environment that I wanted to be in. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love helping people, and to this day, that's
Sure, you're
definitely
in
one of my
fitness.
passions.
That is
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it was just the environment. I wanted to be somewhere more uplifting,
Okay.
I guess.
Sure.
And
it is a hard job to be a nurse.
Yeah, it's definitely really hard.
You have to have
Yeah.
like, not that you don't have this, but like people who do go into that, like any kind of medical field and spend a lot of time in a hospital, like you have to, know that going into it. Okay. So we went into kinesiology. So
Yeah,
the
so got my degree. I went to UCF in Orlando, and pretty much from there, I went to St. Louis. I did a internship up there at an athletic training facility called the HIT Center.
Cool.
That was awesome. We worked with athletes getting ready for like the combines and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I actually moved up there for a guy. So
Okay,
that was
okay.
also part of it.
How did that end up?
That did not end up well,
You're not alone. Many people have done
but
this.
that's all right. The motivation was there, and I think it was a great experience.
Sure.
But yeah, so I lived up there for a few years, and then I moved back to my hometown, Pensacola, and then just did personal training. And then I also was a professional firefighter EMT.
Yeah, you mentioned that in
yeah.
bio. There's a lot of
Yeah.
really cool things that I like about you just from your bio alone. You mentioned firefighter EMT. And that was like at the very end of your first paragraph. And you're like, oh, yeah, and I did this. And I was like, okay, that's badass. And then you mentioned Wags and Walks, which we'll get into. But so you moved back home and became a firefighter?
I did, yeah. So
Okay.
I went to the fire academy and the EMT academy, which, I thought I had been through difficult stuff.
Sure.
That was definitely butt kicking for
Wow,
sure.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And it was interesting being the only female because you got to hold your own. Like
Yeah.
you cannot, slack by any means. If not, you have to be even better than the guys. So
I like that.
yeah, doing personal training in the morning, then doing fire academy at night. It was a long 9 months.
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long is Fire Academy?
It depends on where you go. If you can do like a really condensed version, I think you can do it in maybe 2 months or less. They have like a big fire academy in like Central Florida where you can
Okay.
actually go and just do nothing but that. But mine was a few nights during the week and then on Saturdays. So it wasn't like a full-time thing.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
then how did you transition out of that then and why?
So I loved it. I thought it was pretty much the coolest job because you never knew what to expect.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of my nursing background kind of translated, and to go like full circle, when I was doing some of my clinicals in nursing school, we had to shadow at the fire department.
Oh,
Because in Orlando, they run the EMT service out of the firehouses.
right.
And that's actually where I first was like, this is a cool job. But I was, already on track for nursing, and I was like, I'm not doing that. But yeah, it came full circle.
And you did. That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah.
super
So it came
cool.
up several years later. But so I met my husband.
Okay.
And we moved to Atlanta. And it was just, I feel like, a job that was good for a single person. But once you have somebody else, it was more, I guess, conducive to our lifestyle.
Yeah.
To just do my personal training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet him?
Mutual friends
Oh,
set us up.
Love that.
Yes.
I need some friends.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Which is shocking because he actually reached out on Facebook and was like, I'm not a creepy guy, but so-and-so said I should reach out. So I got one of the nice DMs on Facebook and kind of did a little stalking, and I was like, all right, I'll meet up with them.
You gotta vet your people that you date. You
Yeah.
got to.
Yeah.
Especially on socials. It's like
So
you never know what you're gonna get sometimes.
That's for sure.
And you also have to like vet that, and then like in person, you have to be like, okay, I see what you're putting on social media, but like let's get to know you a little more and
search
see
those
like
wonders.
let's get past those little highlight reels, like. But yeah, okay. So you met your husband.
Yep.
You were realizing that okay, being a firefighter is awesome, but it like I want to kind of like move more into personal training because I can spend more time with husband, and
Yeah.
it just makes more sense for me right now. Okay, so
Yeah.
I've gotten to personal training.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that. Let's keep it going.
So personal training, I absolutely loved it. I trained broad spectrum of clients. I mean, I had some that were 70s, which I really got a kick out of because some of them were, I think, stronger
Yep.
than some of my younger ones and wanted to work harder than
Yep.
some of my younger ones.
Yes.
So yeah, like seeing an old gentleman with, 2 knee replacements doing squats was, very encouraging and just, kind of, I don't know, something that you want to strive for when you're that age.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
it just shows you if you keep working at it, you can do it forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you set yourself for success now or wherever you're at before you're 70 or however old. Yeah, it just makes sense. And then I've always been fascinated by that too. Not fascinated, just like, that's interesting that like older people, in my experience as well, typically they have a lot of drive and more so than younger clients a lot of the time, or they're more willing to try something new than some of my younger clients. And it's just been a pattern that I've noticed. And I wonder if it has to do with like, not having all this life out of the way and realizing like, hey, what do I have to lose?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Let's do it. Whereas young people are always doubting everything, like we're like, I don't know where I'm at ever, like, should I do this? Is it going to hurt me? I don't know, like, cause it's being young, but, the older I get, the more I like take risks because I'm like, life is short, so that's really interesting. So personal training, and now you're at 7 Minutes Fitness.
Yes.
In between that, did anything like happen that pushed you into 7 minutes? And I want to talk about 7 minutes because it's not a 7-minute workout, guys. There's more to it than that. But tell us about how you kind of got into 7 minutes from like just personal training.
Yeah. So full disclosure, I started 7 Minutes as a member. I wanted to do a workout that was already planned for me. I didn't want to have to think about it. I was kind of in a stage where I was tired of doing all the planning.
Absolutely.
And I was working from home doing a job that was not the most entertaining. So I wanted a community, and I decided to check it out because it looked like it would be something I'd be into because they had, squat racks, stuff like that. It wasn't like your typical small weights and things like that for like a studio.
Right.
Because I definitely find like strength training to be very important and like probably the foundation of most of the workouts that I do for myself. So anyways, I ended up loving it. And then they found out that I did personal training, and it just kind of evolved into, all right, I'll take on a class. I'll see, if I want to work here. Cause I didn't want to ruin enjoying it as a member and then becoming a coach. And then all of a sudden you're not working out there because you need a break and you want to be somewhere else. You just
mixing too much work and play.
Exactly.
Yeah. It definitely can, demotivate you to do it. Yeah, for sure.
So I wanted to make sure I kept that balance, but it was very difficult. Like I loved it. I wanted to be there all the time, and ended up becoming the GM. And then the opportunity came about a year later to be an owner, and took it on. And here I am.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
What about 7 minutes was like you couldn't get enough of it? You were just there all the time. Like, what about it? Because there's a ton of group fitness studios, right? What sets it apart? Like, what made you want to stay there?
I think just how you feel and the environment. The environment is comfortable. You can show up wearing your cute matching Lulu outfit. You could show up in a t-shirt and shorts. Nobody cares.
Can't show up naked though, right?
Can't show up naked.
I was gonna say,
unfortunately
I'll
not. Unfortunately not. But it's just a good environment, and you can be yourself there. All the people are cool. We're just there to work out and have a good time doing it.
Tell us a little bit about the workouts there.
So the workouts are a combination of HIIT and strength training.
Okay.
So we have a different focus each day. Mondays, Thursdays are full body push. Tuesday, Fridays, full body pull.
I love that.
Then Wednesday, Saturday, Sundays, conditioning and core, which all the days are going to be focused on full body.
Yes.
But it just depends on the day what you're going to be focused more on.
Gotcha.
So you can always come in and do a workout back to back from the next day and not be like overtraining,
Right.
So
Yes. Do you do the programming, or is it like a?
I do the programming.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you have that control and that you want it. You know.
Yes, and that was one
As
of
the
the
owner.
exciting parts about taking it over, was that although I did like the programming and how it was, there were definitely a few things that I wanted to change. And I think that really sets us apart from how it was originally when they first opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's multiple 7 minutes fitness like studios. Does everybody, like every different location, do they have that creative control? Are they able to like
Well,
program?
so we're the only one.
Oh.
Yeah, we're the only 7 minutes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wait, so you took over ownership then? Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So you didn't open a new one and become
No.
a new owner. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, because I know there's a lot of people who, you know, I'm one of them, who's considered like starting a gym or owning a gym, or, you know, just kind of starting your own business, you know, without having like a brick and mortar place. Like, what are some of the biggest things you had to kind of like, I don't know, maybe lessons learned or obstacles that you had to get over, like learning, because you weren't a gym owner previously. So, you know, tell us a little bit about like, you know,
That transition. Yeah.
Well, it was a transition. So, the lifespan of 7 minutes has been very interesting. So, the transition from me being coach to GM happened when a fire occurred
okay.
at the gym. And so that was very interesting. We won't get
everyone
into
okay?
that. Everyone is fine.
Okay, good.
Yep. The gym was not fine. Some of the equipment was donezo, but it was a fresh start is how I like to look at
Sure.
it. And so really from that point on, like I had to learn how to do everything, because the owner that was then in charge was a former MLB player.
Okay.
And so he does broadcasting and then now coaching for the Mets. And so I was pretty much the only person there running it, doing the day in and day out stuff. And a lot of the technical side of it, I am not a technical genius by any means, but every station at 7 minutes has a screen. And the programming in the office runs out of all these cords and all this stuff that I had no idea what any of it was. So did a lot of YouTubing, a lot of trial and error of plugging stuff in, unplugging stuff. A lot of long nights of trying to figure that out. But once you figure it out, you're like, okay, I finished that project. So then the next time another, roadblock is in your way, you're like, I did that. I can do this. It might be a little daunting at first. There's been, some tears shed where it's just
I'm
like,
sure.
are you kidding me with this? But yeah, it always works out.
Yeah.
And you have people that come through for you. And I'm very grateful to the people that believed in me to invest and to help me keep 7 minutes open.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a longtime member and one of his friends, and two great individuals that I'm very grateful for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have help, in life, especially with big things like, taking over ownership of a gym. it also came up for me too that like I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to own a gym but like don't understand that like you're gonna have to sit and like figure out how cables go together, you know, like after you have something happen, you know, it's like it's not just okay, you know, here's a bunch of money, give me my brick and mortar roof, you know, all right, let's buy equipment, all right, we're gonna make it a playhouse, you know, like it's gonna be great, all right, you want to train for me, great, you know, like you have to pay those people. You have to like, you know, budget in equipment, make sure you're getting the right things. You have to pay for marketing, promotion, you know, get a marketing person, an accountant, all of that stuff. There's so much that's not related to having a gym to own a gym. There's so much not related to fitness or how good of a coach you are or how fit you are that goes into owning a gym. And I've worked for several gyms, and sometimes the gym owner is always there. And that's always, as somebody who's been an employee at a gym, I always appreciate when I get to see the owner or at least know who they are, you know? And then I've worked for other gyms where I've never met the owner. I've only met like the GM, you know, and it's like, and I have had good experiences with both, but at the same time, like there's something about, you know, when the owner cares enough to be like, I'm gonna pop in. You don't have to be there all the time, but like, you know, you're wearing the 7-minute shirt. You're here talking about it on the podcast. You know, like I imagine you just seem like the kind of person that's in your gym more than like never.
For sure. For sure.
What does that look like for you? Like how much time do you spend at
I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
I'm there a lot. So until we get it moving in the direction that I foresee it going, I still coach.
Nice.
So I coach, I work out there myself. I do all the day-to-day stuff. I do have an assistant manager who's fabulous. She helps me out, but for the most part, it's on me to get everything done. And that's fine. I love it. It's probably one of the things in my life that I'm most passionate about. And it was always fitness, but I never thought it would be owning a fitness studio.
Sure.
Because they're very different. Being a coach is very different from, you know, running the payroll.
Oh, yeah.
Getting a toilet unclogged, stuff like that you're just like, oh, that is also my responsibility today.
Yeah.
Nobody else is coming to do it for you, so you better suit up. So, it's a lot, but it really doesn't feel like work. It's just something that I love doing. And
that's how you know.
I feel like it's going to be where I foresee it to be.
That's awesome. Yeah. Where are you wanting to take 7 Minutes Fitness?
I would love to see it as a franchise. I think it's very franchisable.
I think so too. I thought it was a franchise.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an approachable model and so convenient that I think once people know what it is, it has the potential to be like a Orange Theory or something like that. But I still want to keep the same community feel to it that the first one has, you know?
I feel like the first one always will, you know? Like, even if you were to open more locations and franchise it, I feel like you can't take that away from the first one. It's like magic, you know? It's the bean. The sprout
for sure.
You know? Like, that's how I think of it. But, and you're there, you know? So it's like you know, and if you franchise, maybe that would take you away from there a little bit more. But I still just don't think like you can take the magic away from the OG, you know?
Yeah.
I worked for a franchise called 9 Round. You may have heard of it. And, all different owners, 3 different gyms I worked out of: Murfreesboro, Franklin, and Nashville. Nashville had opened up after Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro was the one, that's where I basically got my start in fitness as a career. And I was a member first.
Okay.
And I don't own a 9 Round, but just along the lines of like they franchise, and they had been a franchise, but I got started at the Murfreesboro location. It's where I went to school. And the community there was just, they built me up. I learned how to do pull-ups there. It's not even a place where you learn to do that. But my boss and coach at the time, Ashley Gage, small world, she actually goes to Carbon now where I work. And we've you know, seen each other around again. But she taught me how to do pull-ups, basically. She told me everything I needed to know. I was really eager to learn. Just had a great time there for like over a year. And then she asked if I wanted to work there. And I was like, absolutely, because I'd been wanting to get into fitness and telling her that. And she gave me that chance. She opened another location in Nashville right around the same time a location in Franklin was opening. Someone else was opening it. So they obviously wanted me to work in Nashville. And then, I had gotten in contact with the guy owning Franklin, but it never was the same except for at Murfreesboro, and that was like the home base, that was like, and maybe just because I started there, but there was a great group of people there. Like the same people would come all the time. You'd have your regulars, and Nashville or Franklin were great too, but it's like you couldn't take that feeling away from the Murfreesboro, and just
Were you there with
it.
more people around your age in Murfreesboro because of school?
Yeah, but there were some older people too. One of my first personal training clients came out of the Franklin location, and she had a completely prosthetic leg, the entire thing from the hip all the way down. My first personal training client, she had all the faith in me in the world, and everything she was looking for, I was, not super qualified to give her, but like I knew my limits and everything, and she did too. I don't know, it was a great experience, but yeah, you can't beat that first original location.
Yeah.
You just can't. There's a magic to it, and Ashley even opened the one in Nashville, and, it was great, but didn't have the same feel. And it was the same owner,
My first gym job, I worked there for 10 years. That's how I feel about that.
Right.
We had 3 locations in Nashville, and I actually ran to one of my old members today when I went to go vote.
Yeah.
And he recognized him. We talked for a couple minutes, and I haven't seen him in 5 years.
There you go.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
you don't forget those things. And then the Nashville location, could have been that for someone else.
Yeah.
The Franklin location could have been that for someone else. But so to the people, the community that you have at that first location that you have now, that will never go away for them. You can open 5 more in the same neighborhood, and they could go to all of them, love it, but they're always going to love their home base,
Yeah.
And then you create more, it'll be someone else's home base, that's how that works. But anyways, I kind of want to know what kind of people would really enjoy being at 7 Minutes Fitness as opposed to somewhere like Carbon or maybe Berries or what kind of demographic would really enjoy being at 7 Minutes?
I think one of the coolest things about 7 Minutes is our demographic is very diverse.
Nice.
We have Belmont students. We have people that are retired. It's really customizable to any and all fitness levels because we have weights that are 2.5 pounds up to 80.
Nice.
And, with having the barbells, you can just do the bar or you can add on whatever you want to add on. And you have your own lane. So even though the workout's structured and it's on the screen for you, if you need to take your break, take your break. So, if you're just starting off, we always tell everyone, go at your own pace. It's totally fine.
Nice.
Just do you. And the workouts start every 7 minutes. So for those that are on a time crunch or are running late or are early, the most you're going to wait is 7 minutes to start your workout.
That's a big deal.
So it's very convenient.
It's a big deal.
And you can't say you missed your class because it's no, because another one starts in 7 minutes.
Well, you probably also don't have a late cancel policy.
Right. So there's no late cancels. I mean, yeah, it's probably the most flexible
That's a game changer
situation.
Because I can tell you right now, when people are late to my class and they're they'll text me and be like, I'm going to be 20 minutes late if I keep trying to get there. I'm in traffic. Or they actually show up and they can't do the full class. That was it for the day. It's the last one, or got to wait until this time you have to be at work. That's a game changer for people to be able to work out whenever it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
And if it's not in the minute you showed up, you have 6 more minutes.
Right.
Yeah, even
so
if you
awesome.
wait 7 minutes, you're still good to go.
Yeah. Darn it, I'm a minute late.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just wait 6 minutes.
Yeah. So I think it's for people that want the convenience. They don't want to have to think about programming themselves. We do it for you. Somebody who, wants to be challenged, but also is just content with moving their body. Because, there's days where you're just there moving.
Yep.
And that is a feat in itself.
Thank you for saying that.
You know,
'Cause
so
a lot of people like get down on themselves and they have like a day where they're like, ugh, like I'm just making my way through it. You know, like, no, that's a huge accomplishment.
It
if
is.
You did that, you know?
And there's so many days where there's people like, I'm just here. I'm like, you know what? Get through the third station. If you're still not feeling it, that's okay. You can leave.
Yeah.
If you're still feeling good, keep going.
Yeah.
You know, I make that deal with myself quite frequently.
Yes. You have to.
But I mean, I would say 99% of the time, that's all it takes. You're moving for, 15 minutes and all of a sudden you're like, why did I not want to do this?
Yeah.
I feel great.
Usually getting started is the hardest
It
part,
is.
you
It
know?
really is.
Getting up and getting in
That
my
is
car.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this morning is a great example because I knew, okay, I have things to do in the middle of the day. I'm either going to work out in the morning. It has to be kind of early, Sab, if you're going to do it in the morning. Or you can wait all day until after all those things are done and you'll have the afternoon and you can take your time. You might be warmer because you've been moving around all day. I do that a lot. But today I was like, no, I want to wake up and get my workout in because if I do that, it always helps my brain my gears turn a little bit more throughout the day. But more importantly, I was like, you'll know that you moved and did your thing. And then you can, have the whole afternoon to either catch up on things that maybe you're behind on or whatever. I just made that decision. And God, it was so hard.
You made a better decision than me today.
Because I was so
haven't gone
tired.
yet.
But I woke up and I was like, it's kind of gloomy outside. It's a great day to sleep in if I want to. I have that option. And every other day this week, I cannot sleep in. I have classes in the morning or clients. So this is the one day. But I committed to myself and working out. And it was hard. I keep my AC super cold because you sleep better. And it's really hard to get up in the morning out of the covers. And then I made breakfast and had my coffee. I'm like, man, I could just chill if I wanted to. And I was like, nope, we're going to do it. And then you even get to the gym and you get down there and there were like some other people there and they were using something I wanted to use kind of immediately. And I was like, dang it, and I could have talked myself out of it, but I set my stuff up and I was like, just get started, Sab. That's like, you keep procrastinating. Like if you keep doing that, you're not going to get a workout in at all today. So just start, and like sometimes I just got to get like on hands and knees and start warming up, do a little cat cow. And it's like weird how like almost as soon as you start moving, it's not perfect right off the bat, but then you start slowly being like, why was I so like dreading this,
I know,
like
yeah.
not every day is like that. There will be some days that I'll try and get through work and I'm like, no, you really need to rest. But on a day like today, I knew like, you just got to get started, and sometimes people hesitate to get gym memberships because they're like, oh, I'm not fit enough yet. I've heard that so many times in my life. I know you've heard that because people say that all the time, but it's not about being fit enough to start it. Like, what kind of logic is that? If you really think about it, like, I'm not fit enough to work out here. Why not? It's a gym. That's what we're here for. Like, we're not looking for you to be fit enough at all. Like what do we want? Only jacked people at our gym? No, that's not what we are here for. We're here to help everybody. So getting to the gym, walking in the door, if you can do that, then you can get fit. You can be healthy, you know? And, but yeah, I kind of want to know a little bit about your goals personally, like fitness wise. Like I want to hear business goals.
Yeah.
But I want to hear like, what are you working on?
What am I working on? Honestly, just lifting heavier.
Nice.
Gradually increasing my squats and deadlifts.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what I'm working
Love
on.
that. Where are you at right now?
I don't know.
You don't have to say.
Yeah.
But
we'll keep that a secret.
lifting heavier. Lifting
Yeah,
heavier. Hey,
lifting
your numbers
heavier.
are your numbers.
I mean, you're getting older. You need to keep challenging yourself strength wise. So that's
Any
what I'm
specific
working on.
lifts that you like? Like what's your favorite lift?
I mean, I think squats are probably my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Back squats? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you feel about front squats?
I don't dislike them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. I got to fist bump you for that because I love front squats. I know a lot of people are like, I just don't like having the bar. I'm like, I get it, but they're my fave.
Yeah. One of my strength and conditioning coaches was actually diehard front squat.
Nice.
So for the longest time, that was pretty much all I did was front squats.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Does wonders for your core.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
God, and like just your integrity, upper body. I mean, what about you, Jordan? What's your favorite lift?
You already know what my favorite lift
Is it a muscle up?
Yeah, I like doing pull-ups.
Okay,
Weighted
well,
pull-ups.
that's
yeah.
great. What
Yeah.
if I ask like your favorite like loaded movement?
Probably.
You can't say loaded pull-ups.
No. Probably just doing bench, just trying to get my
Okay.
bench up because I like, the whole being able to do 225 and up.
Yeah, it's a guy thing.
Yeah, it's
I
a
get
guy
it.
thing.
It's a benchmark for dudes. I get it.
Yeah, and that's something I've actually accomplished this past year was
Good for
being able
you.
to bench 225. So that's pretty
Nice.
cool. But I mean, I would like to go up higher, but it's hard. So,
Yes, it is. It's hard
I
to
don't
do
weigh that much.
225.
Yeah.
I had the goal one time of just being able to do one plate, like 45s. So 135. And I got one time and then I never cared again. I was like, there's other things I can do
Yeah,
for chest, but yeah, I do like lifting heavy, but yeah, that's awesome.
I like
That's
cable
great.
machines too, like
Yeah.
free load cables. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever done like the things you would do on cables with resistance bands instead? Try it.
Okay, got you.
Just try it.
I will.
Because I think you'll really like it.
Some
It's different.
movements like biceps and stuff, I'll cool down with that. But
Yeah.
I don't really use resistance bands unless I'm
Try
doing pull-ups.
like, do you do like chest movements? Like, yeah. So try flies with bands
okay,
and see
Will do.
like, do it with both cables and bands, like back to back. And I want you to report back to me what you feel.
Okay.
The difference.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Is it okay? Sick. Love it. It's a little experiment for Jordan. But we are going to take a quick break for our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll kind of like segue into Stretch Your Intellect. So yeah, we'll be right back.
Great.
Welcome to Game Day Men's Health in Green Hills in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a men's health clinic. We're doing a lot with testosterone replacement therapy. So welcome to our clinic. What you'll be able to do is get your blood work. We'll send it back to our in-house labs. We'll test your total testosterone, your PSA, and then your H&H as well. So we'll get those results within about that 20-25 minute mark. You'll be able to sit down with our licensed clinician and go over your results. We do a lot with medical weight loss, vitamin injections, and we have a few ED services as well. And then we also do a lot with peptide therapy as well. And it is something that you want to move forward with if it makes sense. You should be in and out in about 45 minutes.
And we are back here with Ashley Shanks and my homie Jordan Clark. Yo. And I do want to kind of get back to Ashley's story. Like as far as like where you're seeing 7 minutes headed, I want to make sure that our listeners get information about that.
Yeah.
And that you get the last word. We always like to leave our guests with the last word about like anything that you want our listeners to know. It can be anything fitness related, it can be anything 7 minutes related, or it could be not related to those things at all. Just like something you want to leave people with. Before we do that, we're going to get into our segment called Stretch Your Intellect, which does exactly that. Maybe not, totally, but I do want to mention that the basket of debate was brought to you by Defiance Fuel. The best water known to man. You drink it, it'll give you superpowers. Which ones? I can't tell you. You just have to drink the water and find out. And Stretch Your Intellect is brought to you by Nutrition Factory. So we're going to get into that. You should have a sheet of paper. Look under your seats, ladies and gentlemen. You get a car. You get a Stretch Your Intellect slab of paper. Do you have it? Do you have one?
That one was right
Yours
here.
is right here. Yours is right here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it looks exactly like the basket of debate
Got
slips
it.
of paper. One day we'll laminate them when we're a big box podcast. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means. All right. So this is just a random fact. And it looks like the theme is I have like personal training. What is the headline at the top of you guys'?
A duel for honor in politics.
Okay. These are not related at all, but this will be fun.
Mine is symbolic design.
Wow. I don't even know what that means. Let's start with symbolic design.
Well, all right. We have some see the candy cane as rich in symbolism. The white base represents purity, and the red stripes are said to signify Jesus' sacrifice. When turned upside down, the candy cane forms a J, thought by some to stand for Jesus.
Or Jordan. No, I did not know that.
I've
makes
heard
sense.
that.
That makes
candy
sense
cane. Yeah.
that like everything Christmas related would be brought back to that. I mean, Christmas, you know?
Yeah. It's coming up.
Interesting. Maybe these are all Christmas themed. You go next, Jordan. I went first last time.
Aaron Burr, the third vice president, shot and killed Alexander Hamilton, a founding father, in a duel in 1804.
I actually knew that.
Though dueling was illegal, this deadly dispute over honor effectively ended Burr's political career and remains one of the most infamous incidents involving American politicians.
Wow.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
That is interesting. A little history. It's good for you.
I'm going to challenge you to a duel.
I wish we could still do that to solve our problems, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, because now people just like are passive aggressive or something, you know, or they talk shit on Instagram or something. But like, you know, if you could be like,
Keyboard warrior.
draw, you know, like that would be awesome and really violent. Glad that doesn't exist anymore. We've civilized a little bit. All right, last one. Online personal training is growing faster than in-person training. Oh, yeah, that hurts me a little bit.
Come on, keep going.
That hurts me. I've tried online training and I went right back to in-person training. With technological advances, especially post-pandemic, online personal training is experiencing a growth rate nearly double that of traditional in-person training. Virtual coaching, app-based training programs, and video consultations make fitness accessible to more people, allowing trainers to scale their businesses globally. I have so many thoughts on that I will not get into on this podcast because that is true. You know, it's not wrong. But what is online training and what is online programming? You know, that could be a whole discussion. Because I think a lot of people think that they're getting like a lot of help and then they sign up for it and they're like, where
are they?
You know, where are you?
Yeah.
You know, no one's checking my form. Some people do. I will be fair. There are lots of online trainers that exist that are actually training people, you know, virtually, and then more power to them. But then there's a lot who are just pumping out templates, same thing, you know. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be an online coach, program online. I mean, I have friends that do it and they're wildly successful at it and they're very good at it. But then I, you know, have just seen
Got to find your niche.
and experience myself like how hard it is, you know. And but anyway, I could talk about that another time. That is Stretch Your Intellect. So swinging it on right back around to Ashley. Ashley, tell us what you would like to leave our listeners with. Can you tell us like where they can find 7 Minutes, like where it's physically located, any like social media stuff, website? How can we find 7 Minutes Fitness?
Yeah, so we are located in East Nashville. Main Street. And yeah, you can find us at 7 Minutes Fitness on Instagram. But yeah, we have our website too, which is 7minutes.club. And also I think we should definitely mention that we've partnered with Cycle House.
Right on.
And Hot Yoga of East Nashville.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're doing a East Pass, which is basically unlimited access to all 3 gyms.
Wow.
For one price. Or you can
how long is the access? Is it like all like
yeah, it's all unlimited.
Wow,
you can go to any of the
that's
classes.
super cool.
Yeah. And you can do all 3 studios or you can do just 2.
Okay.
We're running a special price for those for like the first 20 people that do it. We just launched this concept. And
It's a great idea.
yeah, I think
hop on that
because we're all very close. So, I mean, you could walk to each of our studios from the other.
Oh, it's like a little fitness cluster.
Yeah, we're very close. And so we're actually doing a launch party.
Cool.
It's called the East Nashville Wellness Mixer.
right on.
It's going to be November 16th.
Okay.
At Waymore's Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be from 9 to 12. We're doing 3 20-minute classes. So it's going to be each of our studios doing a class. Cycle House is going to have theirs at their studio. Ours will be on the back patio at Waymore's. And then yoga is going to be upstairs at their rooftop bar. But yeah, it's a free event. There's going to
awesome.
be vendors there. There's Wood and Wolf, which is like the permanent jewelry.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Party Company. They make really cool hats, customizable
okay.
hats.
Okay.
And then
I
of
feel
course
like I know the name of that. It's just not coming
Yeah.
to me. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
and
customized hats?
Fabletics. And then, of course, my favorite Wags and Walks is going to be there with
Yeah,
puppies.
I wanted to talk more about that. She fosters dogs. Like,
Yes.
apparently she has like 16 dogs at her house at the
Yeah.
moment. Like, that's amazing.
There's always room for one more.
Well, you want to just adopt me and I just come hang out with 16
Exactly.
dogs all the time and then we can work out all the time and that would be the best. You and your husband can adopt me. It'll be fine. Just treat me like a dog. I will be fine. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that free event, November 16th.
Yes.
Remind me the location of the rooftop.
Waymore's.
Waymore's. Okay. So it's at Waymore's Hotel, November 16th, 9 to noon.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep.
And that is
Yep.
3 studios, guys, you can get unlimited access to, and there's limited spots. That's a steal. Like, especially in Nashville, like gym memberships are expensive. So when you get access to all 3 like that, I would hop on that, especially if it's stuff that you like. You have spin, you have 7 minutes, which is strength and hit. And what was the other gym?
Yoga.
Hot yoga. Those are 3 really wonderful modalities of fitness to combine to cross train with. So that's really cool. I want to check that out. I'm definitely, that's appealing as hell. Cool. That's really smart too, to team up. And that's what I love, is like when community, like, obviously you guys aren't competing gyms because you have different like modalities, but when you team up like that, even if you do compete, how can we work together? If you read The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, maybe it's that book, maybe there's another one I'm thinking of, but win-win. Make it a win-win situation in business. It's not a win-lose.
Never know, somebody might actually enjoy it that's never done it before.
Exactly.
For sure.
When you help other people out, it helps you out. Not only is it fulfilling to be like, hey, I helped somebody, but like, when you work together, what is the quote? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Like, so when you do things like that, that's smart, and you still have your own autonomy as 7 minutes, but like, when you run something like that, some kind of special with other gyms and work together, you're giving to each other. It's just, that's the community vibe. That's what Nashville Fit's about. So anyway, with this being the end of the episode, what would you like to leave our listeners with today?
I think if you haven't checked us out, come check us out. We always do a free week trial. So you can, see if we're a good fit. And, I think I'm excited for the launch party, and I really hope everyone will come out to that.
Yeah.
I think
Right on.
I think that's it.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for being here today and sharing that with us.
Thanks
I
for
always
having
wish
me.
there was more time, but great conversation. Really cool learning about you, Jordan.
Yeah, loved it. Loved hearing about it.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad because I couldn't hear you.
I can't hear me.
No, I could hear you. I'm just like, I know you're not on typically, so this is like you're doing great.
I'm
But
just here for more support today.
I'm like, usually Jarrell's like, pressing me about something that I
I'm
gotta
sure.
be like, No, I'm just kidding. But it's great having you both here.
Thank you.
And we're gonna wrap this thing up. So thank you guys again for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.